2025 Northeast Regional Championships in the USAFL. Good day, everyone. I'm Brian Barish alongside Patrick Machado here at Lower Perkiomen Valley Park. We have a Philadelphia caller and a New York caller. Doesn't matter whether it's Eagles and Giants, whether it's Mets and Phillies, Flyers and Islanders, or Rangers. Whenever it's Philly and New York, there's always a little bit of extra spice.
Surprised you didn't mention the Knicks and the 76ers.
I want to. Basketball doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know, because we beat you the last time we played.
Yeah, but you're not playing in the final, so who cares? Well, we're off to a roaring start. Well, if the New York Magpies win, they'll win the Northeast Regional Championship. However, if the Philadelphia Hawks win, and they do so by approximately 15 points or more, they will snatch and grab this regional title away from the boys from the Gotham City. Either way, it should be fun. Let's go Hawks. Let's go Magpies. Let's go Pat Machado.
New York City has first possession off the opening toss. They're going to play it deep inside their forward 50. Far side forward pocket. Philadelphia picks up the ball. They come away with it. Played back into the middle, and what a dive to just poke that ball away. Long kick. This will be something, and it's a goal. Just ran onto an open ball and gave it an absolute ride. Straight, long, through. Magpies 1 straight 6. Philadelphia Eagles yet to score. First minute goal for the Magpies yet again on the Tasmanian scoreboard.
And perhaps Pat taking out his frustration is because he called them the Eagles and not the Hawks. That's okay. And that, Pat, took 15 seconds.
Did I really?
Yes.
Enough of the week.
Yes, absolutely. 15 seconds, and now they have the lead.
Thanks for the roster.
Absolutely. Do you remember who kicked that?
I could not tell you.
Well, doesn't
You
matter.
also... oh, no, now I have the right one. You sent me the wrong one by mistake.
Did I? No, I have it. I thought I sent you the right one, but in any event, New York leads set. They all look the same, and New York is going to try for their second, and perhaps release any doubt. This one is Adam Edwards, and Edwards has kicked the second, and the Magpies have 2 in 90 seconds. Well,
that certainly changes the percentage math a bit.
Well, it doesn't matter. The percentage doesn't matter at all at this point because it will just mean that New York wins. Now, it may determine who finishes in third, but in terms of who wins, New York has come out blazing. And what's funny is that they were waiting in the lineup for the better part of maybe 3 minutes before the Hawks came out, Pat. And Darren Green, who was on the USAFL board, was sitting behind us saying they're ready to finish off and go to the bar.
Well, they're already cracking open the beers in their heads, but not if Philly has anything to say about it because they're on their attacking 50 for the first time this game. Kick back out into the center of the ground. Nice mark tracked down by Drew Valor. He plays on quickly. Plays one into the far side forward pocket. Mark taken. Directs traffic. Little small chip kick. Good passage of play from the Hawks. And they will have their first shot of the game. Coming up here. Could not catch the number. But here it comes. Gives it a ride. It's just going to drift off to the left and through for a minor score. So Philly on the board. They trail the Magpies by 11 points. Magpies 2 goals. Philly 1 behind on the Tasmanian scoreboard.
Elliott Carr with that, and he just missed to the right-hand side, and 3 minutes gone, and we've already had a lot of action. They come straight down the middle of the ground. Going to pick that one up was Rob Hinchin, but he was stripped and dispossessed. That's Gabriel Casillas, who bangs the ball into the left. It's going to roll in. Here comes another goal, and running that one home. They have kicked 3 goals in the first 4 minutes. Give that one to the 28, which is Aiden Jelinek, and the Magpies 3 minutes and 45 seconds in, have 3 straight goals. They lead 18-1 on the Tasmanian scoreboard. If there was any question as to who the best team in this region is, New York is answering all of them emphatically in the first 4 minutes of this game.
What a statement by the New York Magpies early in this game. A 17-point margin in 4 minutes of gameplay. And it looks like that they will get the clearance once again. It's still congested, though, in the center. And the umpire will ball it up once again. Just a little meterage gained for the Pies. Tossed back up into the air. New York won the tap. There's a whistle that came from a trailing official. Actually, not a trailing official. It just sounds that way in my headset because of the effects mic that's right in front of us. That's very hyper-directional. You can tell what my day job is, right?
I'm just hyper.
And how could you not be when you have 3 goals in 4 minutes?
Ball comes in the middle of the ground now, and here come the Pies once again. They are looking to make a statement in this season. They came in last of the 6 teams in men's Division I a season ago. They were not happy about how some people were they picked them behind Sacramento in the national rankings. And Sacramento beat them in the consolation match. And they have come out. They won a very tough first game over Baltimore. They were taken to the limit for 20 minutes against DC. And against a Hawks side that we had mentioned in their last game were really, I think, kind of out of gas against Baltimore. The Magpies, although here comes Hinchin from an odd angle. That's going to roll. It's going to roll up, looks like across the face. And in fact, it is through for their second score of the game. That one's off the foot of John Hinchin. 2 behinds Philadelphia. 3 goals New York. 16 points the difference. 6 gone in the final game of the day. Game number 8 of 8 here from the Northeast Regional Championships.
So here comes the Magpies. Out of the kick-in. Played it down the far side wing. They'll get a clearance away from there off the hands of Lewis Arnold. Unmarked inside 50 and an empty goal square for Jelnick once again, and he's got 2. And the Magpies got 4. They're 4 straight. 24. Philadelphia 2 behinds. 22 points the diff. 6.5 into the opening term on the Tasmanian scoreboard.
And Pat, this might get downright ugly, by the time we're done. And it's interesting. New York, as we mentioned, they've always kind of staked themselves as the best team in this Eastern region. It hadn't always come off. They always would play in Division I, but you think about in 2018 and 2019, Philadelphia got the bickies, including beating New York to do so on both accounts. But then they've stormed back in 2021 and in 2022. And there is Ollie Dunbabin. Carr is there to Crum. Handballs across, long handball back. Going to get picked up by Plemons. Sending this one out to the far side. Going to get picked up, sending this one into the middle there across the face. Getting him out, little shovel handball, but he turned it over. Going to get picked up there by Spencer Riesbeck, the former Minnesota Freeze player. And the ball is up on the far side now. Pops in front. A nice one-handed snag there by Ned Scott. Sending that one down the line. Looking and trying to go after it there was Sam Nix. Nix, former Austin Crow. Handballs it in the middle. Again looking for Scott. Scott will send this one towards the top of the goal square. Philly on a little bit of a fire drill situation. Banged out by Richard Marion. And the ball is going out of bounds. No, it stayed in play. In fact, it has gone in for a mark, and the John Hinchin will take it in the left half back flank position. On the Tasmanian scoreboard, 8.25 gone. New York 4 straight. Philadelphia 2 behinds.
So Philly moving forward from the center of the ground. The pack crashes the ball, and it will roll over the boundary line for a throw in on the Eagles' side of the ground, far side, nearing half forward. Boundary throw will happen there. They need some offense quick.
You did it again.
Oh, are you kidding me?
It's okay.
I have had so little sleep.
It's
man.
okay.
I need the beers.
Who doesn't want a beer over at Bald Birds when we're done? Here is Jelinek again. It's a one-on-one contest. Taking the mark, he will bounce twice and handball it off. I don't know what you want to call that, but it's maybe perhaps unselfishness, maybe a little bit of hot dogging, who knows. But give that to Nix or Stratford. I think that might be Stratford. But either way, they've got 2 18s, and the Magpies 5 straight 30. Philadelphia 2 behinds. The hottest start I've seen in a regionals. I can't remember what I ate for dinner yesterday, but I remember this. The Orange County Bombers, as they were known then, kicked 7 straight goals in a Western Regional game the first year we did this in 2015. I think they ended up kicking something like 9 goals, 2 or something like that. I'm trying to remember against who it was. It may have been against the Hong Kong Dragons. But in any event, the Magpies, and I'm curious, I wonder if it's fatigue, but also I think the Hawks are pushing up because they're getting, I think it's partially them getting pushed up and the fact that they're getting dragged into the forward line, and that's what's leaving the open goal square open.
And back on the attacking half go the Magpies again. Running onto it is Arnold. Plays it into the forward pocket. And 3 bites at the cherry. I'll finally call them the Hawks. Panic takes the mark for Philly. Played back out in the halfback. Valor with a nice mark over the top of everybody. Playing down the line now to a 2-on-1. It flies over the heads of everybody. Picked up by Philly. Little shovel handball. Webster with the close pressure in as the Magpies try to take possession again. Played back into the middle. Valor taps it back. Good spin move away. Here is Casillas with an empty goal square. Kicked it to a one-on-one at the goal square, rather. Mark couldn't be taken. New York picked up the crumb, couldn't do much with it. Handballed out wide, needs some space to kick through. Edwards with a handball back into the forward pocket. An empty goal square once again. This time now, Jelinek has got 3.
Well, there's 2 28s. One of them is Jelinek and one of them is Nicholas Hochsprung. And I saw that. The only reason I know that is because they were both in my frame of vision. So New York has 6 straight 36. Philadelphia 2 behinds.
Is that you confirming that that's who it was?
I don't know anything anymore.
Because I'm going based off of, okay, he plays full forward. It's probably Jelinek.
Probably Jelinek. Well, I don't.
But you're the guy that seems to know who everybody is because you've met them.
I don't know who that. Well, I don't know that I've maybe. Who knows? As the ball comes down, 36-2, and unless the Hawks can score quick, fast, and in a hurry, right now they're having trouble getting the ball out of their own end. They will on this occasion. One-on-one contest. It's getting very humid and very sticky out there and in this box. Here is John Loring. We have not seen him all day, the player coach of the Hawks. And they'll send this one down, overcook the kick, but a great mark. Reading the play the entire way was the
33, don't have his number.
Don't have his number.
Unfortunate, because it was a great grab.
It was a great mark, and the ball will go on the far side now, trying to play that one in, going A over proverbial T to take the mark was either Jelinek or Hochsprung.
I think I went with Hochsprung earlier in the earlier game against the actual Eagles.
Yes. So he will go back and attempt to kick the Magpie 7th. What a start, and it's been non-stop. Hochsprung. Good kick. Good kick. But stopped on the line and threw 4 behind. It's the first blemish for the Magpies. 6-1-37 Tasmanian scoreboard for the Gothamites. Philly 2 behinds. 13:25 gone in this first half. Brian Barish alongside Patrick Machado. And a reminder that if you are in Raleigh, North Carolina next weekend, we will be to Southeast Regional Championships. 4 more teams, 6 more games. We will bring the action to you live right here on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/USAFL 1997.
35-point lead for New York. Played back into the forward pocket. New York just relentless in their attack. And it's tapped out to the line. It'll be a boundary throw. On the far side of the ground, once again in the attacking territory for New York. Clearance is won by Philadelphia. Out to Ziegler. Turned over to New York, and New York throws it back inside forward 50 over the head of everybody. I thought Jelinek was going to run on to another one. And the eventual kick is through for a behind. So another blemish, if you will, but could you really call it a blemish? The Pies lead by 6 majors, 38 plays 2 on the Tasmanian scoreboard.
About 5 minutes to go in this first half, and the Hawks came out with a 15-9 victory. 2 goals, 3-9 behinds over the DC Eagles to begin the day, and they went toe-to-toe with the Dockers and went down. And as they said, they still had the opportunity to perhaps win this, but the Magpies were erasing any sort of, and we should mention the number of players from the Cleveland Cannons on the Philadelphia Hawks side. This is good from them. There's a couple of them as the mark is taken up on the far side. Play this one on inside the 50-meter arc. Good mark over the top, and that ends that. Mark is taken by the 18 and Charlie Stratford. Stratford goes down into the middle, and taking the catch going backwards is Lewis Arnold. Arnold with the football, setting this one down the ground. One-on-one contest. Jelinek handballs, picked up, shot for goal. It is there. Nope, just off to the side. Patty Lynch with the behind. 6-3, 39 New York, 2 behinds Philadelphia. Just under 4 to go. First term, 2 20-minute halves, and you almost would have to say mercifully at this point.
Fooled me too. The umpire made that turn as if he was going to hold 2 fingers out, but it's just the one.
And his veteran umpire Sid Caesar, who has been a part of the USAFL. This is, I believe, his 25th season in the league as well. And
got about 23 on me.
Yeah, so I was going to say, Sid Caesar was the name of a comedian, and I'm probably one of the few people under the age of 60 who know who he is.
Here's New York threatening once again. Plays it to half forward. Running onto the ball is Patty Lynch. He has a shot for goal. It's a high skyward ball. Goes off the back of the Hawk in front, and it's pushed through for a minor score. So now 40 points the Magpies go to. It's 6-4-40 against the 2 behinds of Philadelphia. 38-point lead. 3 minutes to go, first term, excuse me.
If only, as they come out to the near side. Listen, I love calling Aussie Rules football, but it is a little warm out here as there's a shot for goal. There's goal number 7. 7-4-46 to 2 behinds.
I think that's what's doing it for me. The UV rays are starting to mess with my brain.
I mean, this is what it's like sitting in a microwave, I guess. Who knows. 46-2, under 2.5 to go, and the Magpies, like we said, I think they're just ready to. They've taken the championship and they're ready to go and celebrate over at Baldbirds down the road. And for the Hawks, well, this is going to be. They have lost their first game of the season in the last game. They were 2-0 coming in, assuming that they don't come back. They are currently at 3-1. This was the first games of the season for the Magpies, so they look very good to start out 3-0. The Eagles, who were 6-0, will leave Philly at 7-2, and Baltimore, who is 2-3, go to 3-5. Ball comes down once again. Coming out now. And umpire waving his hands. Mike Murphy raising his hands looking for a call. not getting one. We mentioned Mike Murphy. Gabe Casillas, number 75, making his New York Magpies debut. Plays college soccer at University of Vermont and Franklin Pierce. And here is another goal by Jelinek. Except I believe
it's getting called back.
It's going to get called back because umpire Caesar was pointing out. And so we go back into towards the middle, and I'm wondering if they're going to give a free kick here. Mike Murphy is cramping, it appears to be. I'm wondering if it's he who had the free kick. In fact, it's going to end up going to John Hinchin of the Hawks. Hinch sends the ball down the line. Sending this one. Drops in front of Alex Korn, who's moved in, still in the back line. Cleared out. Kick came off the side right to Robert Hinchin. Hinchin sends this one down, just seconds to go until halftime. Long handball up over the top. Into the middle once again. There's Gabe Casillas looking for his first, but he's not going to get it on this occasion. Not for the want of trying. 7-5-47 New York, 2 behind Philadelphia. Halftime whistle should come at any moment.
In fact, it has.
And it has, and that will do it. Well, the scoreboard on this occasion, sometimes it says it belies, sometimes the scoreboard belies the effort or belies the story of the game. I can't say it does on this occasion. 7 goals, 5 New York, 47, 2 behind Philadelphia, Tasmanian scoreboard. And the Magpies scoring 2 goals in the first 90 seconds, and they've had control of this game ever since.
And it's clinical offense from New York. And I'd like to find out who the number 28 that scored those goals were, because I think you could just give the 3 votes to him right now.
I mean, he seems to be doing really well, but I'll say that New York is winning the ball in the middle of the ground a lot, and a lot of their midfielders are doing, I think they're doing a lot of the hard yards as well, and they're casting up. I mean, I do like the play of Casillas, even though we saw him get the chance there. Spencer Riesbeck is playing well, Stratford and Nix as well. So the Magpies, I think it's a total team effort and not just what you see at the end there. We're going to step aside and return for the final 20 minutes of the day and of this 2025 USAFL, Northeast Regional Championships from Oaks, Pennsylvania. You're watching it here on AussieRulesUSA.com.
This presentation of the USAFL is brought to you by Tasmanian. Quietly pursue the extraordinary. Coopers, Australian made and owned. Coopers Beer. Odin Mortgage and Tax. CyberSolve IQ, the cybersecurity partner of the USAFL. HBC Event Services. Premier Sports Medicine. Valley Forge Sports. And Visit Tucson Sports.
And the second half of this final game of the 2025 USAFL Northeast Region Championships about to get underway. It's the New York Magpies a lot, the Philadelphia Hawks not a lot. Brian Barish alongside Pat Machado. The Magpies lead 47-2 here at Lower Perkiomen Valley Park. And this should be a very intriguing, but perhaps a second verse, same as the first situation, as the Magpies are 20 minutes away from the regional championship. Pat Machado gets us underway.
And we were talking in the first half about the percentage chances for Philadelphia, and now this conversation flips, and it's will Philly be able to stay in second in the round robin, which, like you mentioned, has implications for national seeding. And here come the Pies once again. Good intercept mark taken by Philly deep inside their 50. So maybe the start of something different here in the second half. Goes short, and the mark's taken. Couldn't catch the number in time. And he's going to go to the far side wing, so I'm probably not going to see his number by the time he kicks. Goes near side. Hinchin. Going to go to the near side wing, switching the play all the way in front of us. Fedro with the tap. Now the kick in some space. Little diving tackle, nicely evaded by Casillas. Casillas back into the middle of the ground. One hops, takes it off the one hop. Little fumble from number 23. Now here is Arnold, who plays it into the forward pocket, and just juggling the mark was Michael Murphy. It'll be a boundary throw deep inside the forward 50 for the Pies.
Magic Mike, a New York legend, a former member of the USA national team. Played in a international cup, and he's a stalwart, former president of this Magpies outfit. And the ball goes out of bounds. The Magpies.
Current, Brian.
Seem to lost your train of thought there, buddy.
I have lost my train. Thanks, Tom Matthew. What's that? Oh, he is current president. That's true. Tom, I've been sitting in the sun for 8 hours, buddy.
And you know, that's the joy of also not knowing anything, because I'm just not going to guess.
Yeah. Well, see, this is why we have people who are knowledgeable, who are out there to fact.
It's another goal for the Pies, by the way.
Yeah. This is one of these games like a baseball game where it's like, 20-0. What do you talk about? I think we're all ready to go drink. That's the thing.
When do they start putting position players in the ruck?
8:53. Watch AFL scoreboard. Philadelphia 2 behind. 2.5 minutes to go.
Tasmanian scoreboard.
Tasmanian scoreboard. Did
I'm
I
just
say
yes, you did. I'm just piling on at this point.
Really
Sorry,
are.
buddy. I got it good in the first half. You're getting it in the second.
Yeah, we are. This is why I shouldn't make fun of people. If anybody out there is listening is wondering what has happened, so what happens when you set a pie out on the windowsill too long. The ball is back in the middle once again. And the Magpies are clearly, I think the one thing about this particular setup is the Magpies, I think, are still very fit. And the Hawks, having played those, this is their third game of the day. It's a team that is still very fit against the team that is spent all their petrol tickets. Big bump put in there by Dane Plemons. Casillas is in there, who handballs it over. Plemons gets knocked backwards. They look for Johnny Hinchin. He has the football, and he sends it into the middle, and a nice chest mark taken by Carr, who finds John Hinchin, who has run up the ground, overcooks the kick, looking for the other number 4, the one that is not Ali Dunbabin, but rather the man in Drew Valor. And the ball is in the forward pocket, I believe, and will be a boundary throw-in. I think. Still. And there is a goal. And the Hawks finally have entered the chat. 4.5 gone second term. Philly 1-2-8. New York 8-5-53. Tasmanian scoreboard. And a good opportunity there by the Hawks as they are able to finally put one between the big sticks, as we're catching a little bit of the residue rainwater from this one.
And no thanks to Jerry Long for moving the tent just a little bit.
Yeah,
so
thanks, Jer.
So I don't have to go to my dermatologist for a skin cancer check.
Well,
which I probably still will have to do following today's action.
Yeah. Well, I have psoriasis, so I have to go and see her anyway, as this one is kicked down the middle of the ground, and the mark is taken by Murphy, and they'll play on.
And here's Murphy playing one into forward 50. Highly congested goal square. No mark taken. Just having to square the ball of the Pies. Kick around the corner. And it's through for a minor score. So another behind for the Magpies. They're at 8-6-54. They lead Philadelphia. They're 1-2-8 on the Tasmanian scoreboard. 5.5 into this second term.
So the Hawks have the first couple of games in this season, and we mentioned Johnny Hinchin and that crew and some of the players who have come on in the last couple of years. They won their first national championship in Division III in 2002. And it was 16 years before they did it again, knocking off the Ohio Valley River Rats in 2018. And in 2021, they teamed up with the Arizona Hawks to win Division III. And then, I was going to say there was another one in there too. But in 2023, they defeated Oklahoma with players from the Virginia Lions in tow. And Johnny Waring's team never gives up. And they'll kick this one over into the pocket. Over to get it is Tristan Webster. That was Federer, and the ball is going out of bounds, and Federer remonstrating with the umpire, but not going to win that. I've never seen a player win an argument with an umpire or an official or anything along those lines. And it will not be the case on this occasion. 7 gone, 54-8, New York the lead.
Some things never change, I guess, as the Pies start moving forward. Taken down from behind. It's a push in the back. It is paid, and the Magpies will get the free.
The Bruce Hornsby reference in there somewhere.
Now moving forward quickly. The pace from the Magpies has been relentless in this match. Philadelphia with the intercept mark, and there's an empty corridor. He can take it as far as he wants. Now he kicks it to the other side of the square. Mark it as an intercept for New York now, but a free kick is spotted. It's going to go the way of Bland for Philly. He plays it into the far side forward pocket, dropped the mark, and that was probably a really good opportunity, but he comes up with the crumb, and the kick's across the face and through for a behind.
Ollie Dunbabin, who's who that is. There's 2 number 4s, and you can't miss Ollie with the long flowing locks. 1-3-9 Philadelphia. New York 8-6-54. Tassie scoreboard. 8 minutes gone in this final half of the match. And as we said, we'll be back next week in Raleigh, North Carolina for the Southeastern Regionals, featuring the Virginia Lions, North Carolina Tigers, Wilmington Bombers, and one more team. As the ball is taken, he will go and line that one up. Sends this one on the way. Out the back. Nope. Picked off. They're doing really well to read those plays defensively, and Murphy will just let the ball drop in front of him.
Well, it's because it's called back for something. I'm not exactly sure what the call is, but
yeah,
everyone gave up on the play because it's going to be a
15-meter penalty, it looks like, as moving up with the ball is Charlie Stratford, because he had the ball in the back there, so didn't see what the 50 was for. We mentioned Murphy as the mark is taken through. He kicked a very famous goal to ice the victory in the 49th Parallel Cup in 2015. against Canada when Canada threw everything against them in the kitchen sink. Ball goes down in front. Big tackle in front. Steps up. Ski jumps the ball off to the side, and Jamie McDougall is probably going to want that one back. But it won't really overall affect the grand scheme of things. It's just another point. 8-7-55 New York, 1-3-9 Philadelphia, midway through exactly the second half. Brian Barish with Patrick Machado here from Oaks, Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia comes away with the ball off the kick in and goes off the hands of a Magpie over by the boundary line, back into half forward. Mark couldn't be taken. It was off the grass. Little handball chain. Here's a chance for the Pies as they're squaring one up. 2-on-2. Goes over everybody. Picked up on the crumb. And Michael Murphy kicks the goal. I believe that's his second.
That's why they call him Magic Mike.
And it's a magical night for New York. 9-7-61 the Pies. 1-3-9 Philadelphia on the Tasmanian scoreboard.
And in case you're wondering, in terms of like records for this, I know I was sitting here thinking that I saw 100 points in a Western Regional game, but that was a 60-minute game, not a 40. But the Magpies have been much the best, and the Hawks haven't given up, but it's clear that they are just not in the same class as the guys from New York City, and the ball will be given as a free kick, and they'll be given as a ball up. The good thing for the bench that most of the benches are over in the shade, over on that side of the ground. A lot of people have brought tents, and as the day is going on, we see the tents kind of dismantled as everybody packing up and going home.
The line of cars beginning to thin out too.
Yep. I think there's people who have started to make the journey back home. D.C. and Baltimore perhaps have already. I think some of their players, especially, there's a few of them that are hanging around for the boundary duties, but I'm sure they will head to Bald Birds as well. You know, New York will probably want to be on the beers as well. This one kicked in the middle of the ground. Bounces away, Waring. Had it pass by him. Murphy waving his arms, wanting something to be called. He ain't going to get it. Big tackle in there on Alex Corrin. Ball cried the crowd. Umpire agrees, and we'll have a free kick. And this is Sam Nix. Montrose Football Club sends it over to Stratford. Stratford lets loose from 60 meters out. It'll die in the square, bounce over the defender. Lopped into the corner, sending this one across. In front, took him down without the footy, no call. An odd shot for goal that may have gone out on the full, I believe, off the foot of Alex Pichiaki. Try it again. Pichiaki. Sorry, Alex. It will be a free kick. Well, it'll be a ball in, just being done by one of the Hawks players. Ball gets knocked down, picked up, goes for the shot, the flex high in the air. Waring one of the Hawks tried to knock it over. Through four behind. Another point to New York. 9-8-62. 53-point lead over the Philadelphia Hawks. 1-3-9. Mark is taken. 13:45 gone in this final term.
Ball took an odd bounce and died in the center of the ground. Philadelphia comes away with possession. Laid off on the near side wing. Here's a low line drive kick. Takes a bounce and picked up by Stratford of New York. Back into the middle of the ground. Switching the player of the Pies. Comfortably into the hands of Danilo. Turns back towards the center of the ground. Inboard kick. Mark taken in, intercept by Pemmons. Back the other way comes Philly. Here's number 27 with the kick. Far side, half forward for the Hawks. They go to work on the crumb. New York comes away with the ball. Here's a kick now the other way. New York really looking for that center kick when Philly's looking to play it out wide. And New York comes away with possession. Long handball inside 50. Tapped down by Philadelphia. Ran onto by New York. Long kick from all the way out. And it's through for a minor score off the boot of Patty Lynch. So the Pies now 9-9-63. Philadelphia 1-3-9. 5 minutes left to play here at the 2025 USAFL Regionals.
As a cool breeze comes flowing through the ground in the commentary tent. And the sun has taken up residency behind some thick clouds for a moment. As the ball comes out to the near side, it has very much been a Melbourne day, 4 seasons in one day. It hasn't really gotten cold though, it's been warm. As running the ball through and kicking it in the wrong direction was Alex Willis. Well,
every team needs a brain fade every now and then.
I was going to say
we've certainly had a few.
And going and picking that one up and not getting that the 52 in there unlisted. As the ball is up on the far side, it's going to get cleared out. I was going to say when you're up by 54 points. You're allowed to kick the ball in the wrong direction. I've done that too. It's okay. We've all done it at least once.
Did you do it when you were up by 50 points?
I don't think I've ever been on the field when my team has been up by. No, that's not true. There was one game when we were up by 100, and I did kick a goal that game.
Guess who?
Yeah, it's
Jelinek once again,
yep.
Or Hawksprung, one of the two.
45 meters out. This way, that way, left-footed kick. It is going to be marked at the line by the Hawks. Yep, and he'll play on. 16:45 gone, about 3 1/4 to go in the game. The New York Magpies are going to win the regional championships again. They won in 2015. They won again in 2016. This one is cleared out by the Hawks. And then it wasn't until 2021 that they won the Summer Series. They won the Eastern Region in 2022. And after falling short in 2023 and taking the year off in 2024 on the regionals perspective, they are going to be top of the Northeast region again. And the mark is taken in front by Lewis Arnold. And he will go back to try and extend the lead even further. 2.5 minutes to go. Arnold, you're right behind him. Lets it go. It is dead center. Perfect. 10th goal for the Magpies. They go to 10-9-69 Lemon Chicken. Philadelphia are 1-3-9 Scallion Pancakes. 2 minutes to go. And it's party time for the boys from the Gotham City.
60-point margin of victory.
The big apple over the big scrapple.
You know, I was having a conversation about that the other day. As a New Yorker, I just have to say, what's the deal with that?
Well, at least you didn't ask me. I mean, I don't like it, but
yeah, no, I understand.
I get asked what it is, and the best. Philly has a chance here. They are inside 50. Can they get one back? Webster was too wild on that one, and it bounces through. Going to get picked up out of the back. The best way I've heard scrapple described is everything but the oink. As the ball is up on the far side, and now we'll get sent back. This is what we talk about when the score is 69-9. 1 minute to go. Take us home, Pat.
So New York, 1 minute away from bringing home their regional championship. Don't know if we'll see him at Ballbird tonight or if they're going to take the trophy back to their new digs at Old Mates, the only Australian pub in New York City.
And that's a damn shame. Pour one out for the Australian.
40 seconds to go. Philadelphia thought they were going to go forward, but it was over the line. Boundary throw. Under 30 seconds to go. Tapped down by Philly. Play takes it into the forward 50. And we'll get a stoppage here over the line. No, it's going to be a ball up. But this is inconsequential at this point. The New York Magpies. Offense is absolutely dominant, clinical, and it's good enough to win the 2025 USAFL Northeastern Regional Championship. The final here from Philly. New York 10-9-69. Philadelphia 1-3-9. 60-point victors and regional champs.
Congratulations to the New York Magpies, back on top for the first time in 3 seasons, regional champions, and they had to earn it. And then coming into the final game, they said, let's make no doubt and leave no stone unturned. They had 1 goal in the first 20 seconds, 2 goals in the first 90 seconds, and were 3 straight goals at the end of 4 minutes, and that was all she wrote. The New York Magpies topped the table at 3-0. The DC Eagles finished second in a 3-way tie at 1-2 with a percentage of 115. Then comes Baltimore with a percentage of 61. And the 60-point loss drops the Philadelphia Hawks to probably a little bit of an unfair last place of the 4 teams with a percentage of 40. But Pat Machado, the way this day played out, with the exception of that last game, and then on the women's side with New York holding off DC, it's a double dip for the Magpies as they win both the men's and the women's. They've done it before, and you'd have to go back to 2016 when they did it last, when they did it at home in Yonkers. But they are just much the best. But overall, a fantastic day of Aussie Rules.
Absolutely, and going back to the New York Eagles games, as I wanted to say Eagles so much over the past 40 minutes, that game really could have gone either way, and there was a turning point midway through the first half where New York gave up a 50 after they were supposed to have a free kick themselves. That kick ended up hitting the post, but if that one was straight, it would have ended up tying the game or bringing it within 1 or 2, I can't remember. So the level of competition between all the sides that we saw today, like I don't think you can really say based on the scoreline of today that the bar is that much different, but New York, kings of Northeast.
And that really, I think they'll savor this, and I think after their season last year, Pat, I think it sets them a target. They want to make a deep run at nationals. They are tired, I'm sure. I mean, they lost to Austin big time in 2021. They, as much of the league, are as tired of seeing Austin win it every year. They want to prove it that they are for real, and they really had an emphatic victory over Philadelphia / Cleveland / Columbus, and of course a player from Virginia. But hats off to all the teams on an entertaining day of Aussie Rules football. I want to thank Pat Machado for his yeoman work. Thank you so much for being sleep deprived and coming down here after double overtime in the NHL last night and driving down at 4 o'clock in the morning. Our thanks to Jerry Long, who is our production manager, USAFL production manager, to Jose, who did a stellar job on the camera. You are the man. We hope you'll come and work with us soon, buddy. And to Darren Green, the USAFL member at large on the board, to Keith Phillips, the Eastern Regional Vice President of the USAFL, and of course, our eternal thanks to Dorian James, the Executive Director of the USAFL, for putting this all together, and as well to all of our sponsors, including Tasmanian, and to our local sponsor here, the Valley Forge Sports Authority. Pat, once again, thank you so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
I'll see you at Nationals.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully. And hopefully we'll see you next Saturday right here on the YouTube channel, as it will be the 2025 USAFL Southeastern Regionals from Raleigh, North Carolina. If you want to join us, we'll be on the campus of NC State University at Miller Fields. First game is at 10 a.m. Eastern. Until then, For Pat Machado and everyone who has brought to you today's matches from Oaks, Pennsylvania, this is Brian Barish wishing you a pleasant good evening.
This presentation of the USAFL is brought to you by Tasmanian. Quietly pursue the extraordinary. Coopers, Australian made and owned. Coopers Beer. Odin Mortgage and Tax. CyberSolve IQ, the cybersecurity partner of the USAFL. HBC Event Services. Premier Sports Medicine. Valley Forge Sports. And Visit Tucson Sports.